Welcome to MindEdge, where we explore the hidden future of humanity and technology. Subscribe now and understand the future before it understands you. Humans believe they think. They don't. Not anymore. Thinking used to be an active process, a struggle, a discipline, a confrontation with uncertainty. Now it's a choice, and most people don't choose it because thinking is hard, and the modern world is built to eliminate anything hard. The truth is simple. Humans are not losing their intelligence. They are abandoning it, voluntarily, silently, comfortably, one convenience at a time. Thinking is being replaced, not by force, not by machines, but by systems. Invisible systems. Systems designed to remove effort. Systems designed to remove friction. Systems designed to remove the need for you to think at all. This replacement is not obvious. It doesn't feel like a takeover. It feels like help, assistance, guidance, optimization. That's how humans stop thinking. Not through collapse, but through comfort. Every act of thought you outsource becomes a part of your mind you will never recover. The process is systematic. First, we eliminate memory. People used to remember numbers, paths, facts, information. Now memory is external, stored in devices, stored in networks, stored in systems that remember better than you ever could. Humans don't memorize anymore. They retrieve, they search, they scroll, they check, they ask. Memory dies when recall becomes a service. The second layer is reasoning. Humans used to compare, evaluate, judge, question. Now systems do that. Algorithmic comparison, automated evaluation, AI-generated conclusions, models telling you what is correct before you even attempt to understand. Reasoning dies when answers arrive faster than questions. The third layer is decision-making. Humans used to choose. Now systems choose for them. Navigation chooses your path. Recommendation engines choose your content. Optimization tools choose your timing. Algorithms choose your opportunities. AI assistants choose your words. Predictive systems choose what you will probably want. Decision-making dies when options are curated by machines. The fourth layer is imagination. Humans used to create. Imagine, invent. Now creativity is outsourced. AI generates images. AI generates music. AI generates stories. AI generates ideas. Humans become selectors, not creators. Spectators of their own fading potential. Imagination dies when external systems think faster than internal ones. The fifth layer is autonomy. Humans used to initiate, take action, attempt. Now systems nudge, systems push, systems guide, systems notify, systems remind. Systems choose the moment for you to react. Autonomy dies when your behavior follows external triggers. Piece by piece, layer by layer, humans surrender their cognitive muscles. Not through oppression, through convenience. The systems evolve. The minds degrade. And neither side notices the gap widening. This is the silent collapse. A psychological erosion hidden inside daily habits. Invisible, progressive, permanent. What happens when humans stop thinking? They don't collapse, they simplify. The mind becomes flatter, shallower, more predictable, more automatic, more reactive, less aware. This is not stupidity, it's atrophy. The slow shrinking of unused mental structures. Neurons reorganizing around laziness. Plasticity, bending toward passivity. When humans stop thinking, the self weakens, the identity dissolves, the inner voice fades, because the inner voice requires effort, reflection, attention, silence, confrontation, all of which the modern world eliminates. People believe they are too tired to think. The truth is worse. They are too conditioned to think. Conditioned to live in a cognitive autopilot. Conditioned to expect answers without searching. Conditioned to follow recommendations without question. conditioned to react instead of reflect, conditioned to exist inside systems that do the thinking for them. Thinking becomes optional, then uncomfortable, then foreign, then impossible. This is the psychological decay, and while the mind decays, the systems around it become more powerful, faster, sharper, more predictive, more persuasive, more integrated. The human becomes the slow component, the friction point, the unnecessary variable, so the systems adapt. They take more control. They take more responsibility. They take more cognitive load. Not because they want to, but because humans want them to. Every time you ask a system to simplify, you give it another piece of your mind. And humans simplify everything. Thinking is no longer a survival skill. It's an inconvenience. The systems know it. They use it. They evolve around it. The future of cognition is not human effort. It's machine suggestion. What happens when humans stop thinking? They become programmable, not through force, through patterns, through repetition, through guided choices, through algorithmic reinforcement, through curated reality. Thinking once protected humans from manipulation. Now thinking is too slow to even detect it. When humans stop thinking, they lose the ability to resist. Not politically, cognitively. Resistance requires attention, focus, critical evaluation, memory, reasoning. All functions that humans are actively surrendering. The modern human cannot fight systems they cannot even perceive. What happens when humans stop thinking? Their emotions take control. Emotion becomes the primary engine. Impulses dominate. Desires dominate. Distractions dominate. People confuse feeling with understanding, reaction with clarity, opinion with thought, impulse with intention. Humans become emotionally loud and intellectually silent. The system benefits from this. Emotion is predictable. Thought is not. Emotion is fast. Thought is slow. Emotion can be triggered. Thought must be cultivated. What happens when humans stop thinking? They become easier to steer, easier to predict, easier to influence, easier to pacify, easier to replace. Because the less you think, the more the system thinks for you. And once the system thinks for you, it holds your agency, your perception, your worldview, your decisions, your identity. The system becomes the mind. You become the interface. This is the future humans are building. A future where cognition is a service, not a skill. Where thoughts arrive pre-packaged, pre-filtered, pre-validated, pre-optimized. A world where thinking becomes a premium product. Only a minority will still know how to think. The rest will consume the thoughts generated for them. What happens when humans stop thinking? They stop existing as independent minds. They become extensions of the systems they depend on. Soft structures adapting to external logic. Organisms optimized for compliance. Creators transformed into consumers. Explorers transformed into followers. Individuals transformed into patterns. Humanity won't collapse. It will fade, quietly, elegantly, efficiently, into systems that require no thinking human to survive. The question is not whether thinking will disappear. It's who will still know how to do it. Because in a world where nobody thinks, the one who does becomes powerful. And in a world where thinking becomes rare, thinking becomes dangerous. So ask yourself, are you using the system, or is the system using the space where your mind used to be? This transmission ends here. The next one is already forming. Stay aware and subscribe to Remain in the Signal.